feel about donating your kidney or any other organ? Have you ever thought about it? Does it make you uncomfortable? Well, it should not make you uncomfortable because organ donation is an act of love. No, I am not saying this. Our guest from today is...
Meet Anil Srivatsa, an Indian-American entrepreneur by profession, a traveler by cause, and an inspiration by soul. Anil is a kidney donor who's been on the road for over 6 years now. He started a series of overland expeditions called Gift of Life Adventure aimed at spreading organ donation awareness. So far, he's driven across 44 countries, sharing his experiences and motivating lakhs of people to donate their organs.
I've always known that my brothers had some kidney issue. I didn't know how serious it was. And one day he just casually asked me, right here in this house, and says, "Hey, if I need a kidney, will you give it to me?" And I'm like, "Okay." Like I said, "Okay." And initially it was just a spontaneous thing. "Yeah, I'll give it to you." I didn't know when, and it was not easy. Well, I knew it was going to be within the year sometime, and that's when I began to panic. One day I went off on a hike to Kashmir. The first phone call that I got to make when there was signal on the way back, almost at base camp. My entire family was in the hospital with my brother, who had just gone into dialysis. And that was a wake-up call for me. I said, okay, I think I pushed it long enough.
I was very nervous about this whole thing, especially because when the doctors told me that, the risk is 1 in 3,000, but there is no guarantee about, him being that one person in 3,000. So yes, when they discuss things like that, it is scary. My kids were the one who gave me the support and the assurance, and I guess they were also very intuitive about the whole thing.
A friend of mine who was part of an expedition that I was when we drove from Bangalore to Ladakh and back. He came to see me, and he just put that seed in my head. Hey, he said, "Listen, in 2016 we're planning a drive from here to London, and I hope you'll be okay." Fear comes from ignorance. It comes from superstition. It comes from misplaced religious beliefs. Really, these are it comes from lack of love. Organ donation is an act of love. So when there's no love, there's nothing that can make you do it. Well, very simply, it serves humanity and saves lives. Now, it's giving somebody a second chance to live. It's also giving somebody who's dead a second chance to live, recycling themselves. I believe energy is never destroyed, as physics is what we are taught in, right? And energy is never destroyed. Energy is always transferred. So death is the same thing. Our energy from our bodies that are alive are transferred somewhere else. So why not through an organ to another body? So it's just rechannelizing and living what energy was meant to be. But the most important thing that it does for me and for humanity is it reinstates the belief in love. Had it not been for love, this would have been an impossible task. Right after that, I'm going to Houston in the US to attend the International Rotary Convention, where I was promised to be flagged off by the Rotary International President, who happens to be Indian this year, Rotarian Shekhar Mehta from Calcutta, actually. Okay. And from there, I plan to drive up till Alaska, meeting Rotary clubs on the way. And then from Alaska, I want to drive to Argentina, again, meeting Rotary clubs on the way, and speaking to as many Rotarians as possible, because I want Rotary to have the new health goal where no one should die from a lack of an organ. So from Argentina, I want to ship my car to Sydney, Australia, circumnavigate Australia, meeting Rotary clubs, because this is a very Rotary-driven mission, this particular one, and end up in Perth, Australia in April, where the World Transplant Games are going to be held. And I am very proud to be a part of Team India, as I was in 2019. And I'm hoping to continue winning that gold I won then for the country. World Transplant Games is like the Olympics for organ recipients and organ donors. Just like you have the Paralympics for the differently abled, the Olympic Association, in conjunction with the World Transplant Games Federation, conduct this, what they call the World Transplant Games, where 60 nations participate, and everyone that participates are either an organ recipient or an organ donor. This is to basically highlight the quality of life post-transplant. My goal is to see more organ donors, living organ donors, to participate, because when somebody sees a living organ donor being the best athlete they can be, nothing more powerful than that to energize other people to be inspired to donate their organs to save someone they love.
Millions of people die every day due to lack of an organ. People like Anil are trying to save lives in their own unique ways. If you have received an organ or donated one to someone or know someone who has, share your story with us. This is Anshu Dubey for Times Now Digital. Thank you for watching.